And I walk up and there's people setting up in the benches area, and I assumed a party or something.
Right.
It's finally the weather's getting better, and you can kind of maybe have a party at the park.
Right.
And so that's what I assumed. But as I got closer, I could tell no, they're setting up some like frame with the board on it or something, and I'm like, what is going on? And as I got closer, I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me! Oh no, this can't be. And sure enough,
Who was the first person you saw?
I want to say it was Andre. I think Andre was the first person that I ran into.
Yeah.
I didn't ran into, but that I looked up and recognized for sure.
Clad in his blue suit?
No, he had a black polo, city polo on.
What?
Yeah, apparently. Yeah.
Wasn't in the blue suit?
Oh, he was not in the blues.
Okay. All right. So then you meandered over there,
Well,
I assume.
what I did was I just kind of because there's two entrances to the dog park section, and so I just the other one I could have completely avoided them and not even made my presence known. But you know me, I was like, I'm going to go on this other side, and
Right.
the side I never go into.
And tell them what
mind
you just happen to be wearing.
And I just happened to put on to sleep that night my Why Not JR shirt, and so I rolled out of bed and I'll just keep this on, no big deal.
Right.
And so I happened to have my Why Not JR shirt on. Well, there's a host of Democrats that happen to be at my park.
Name drop.
As I'm walking
Who's
my
all,
dog.
who
Well, the
all
first
was
person,
there?
so I cut across, and I'm just like, oh, yeah, look at me, okay, whatever. And as I'm entering the dog park section of it, I can see Councilwoman Manpreet Kaur having a conversation with the Congressman wannabe, Rudy Salas.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, this is going to be a good day. And she looks up, and she recognizes me,
Right.
and she waves from far. Okay.
Does Rudy wave?
Oh, no.
Of course not.
Oh, no. He turned around. He was about ready to walk off.
Of course.
And so I just go and I start walking my dog, blah, blah, and that's when I called you. I think I called you almost immediately once I got into the bar. I was like, you're not going to believe what I just stumbled upon. You can't believe this. And so what they're doing is they're gathering, and their boards they have up are the maps of the neighborhood and what doors they need to go knock on.
Yeah.
And then the next person I noticed walking towards me is Supervisor Leticia Perez. I'm like, wait a second, this isn't even your district. So she's cutting across, and I just go, Supervisor, and she looks up and she's like, oh, hey, JR. And so I had a nice little conversation with her, but one of the first thing I said, this isn't your area, but she had on what's the lady's name? Connie Perez, whoever for district. You ran into her at the fair, I believe.
Yeah. I can't remember her name, but yeah, I know who you're talking about. But did you say anything to Rudy?
No, because by that time I finished talking to Leticia. I let her go. She said she had to go knock on some doors, which was fine.
You had your phone with you. You should have interviewed everybody possible.
I did, and so I'm starting to pull that up, and I'm like, don't leave, Rudy. Don't leave. And everybody by this time has left to go knock on doors, and he's just kind of hanging out. And I'm like, well, why aren't you knocking on doors? You send everybody else out. What's going on? And as I start to make my way, I was like, all right, I'm going to take my dog outside of the dog park and let her kind of go around, and maybe we'll head that way. And as I do that, he sees me and just beelines the other direction.
Of course he does.
And gets in his car.
Of course he does.
And then drives off.
And we still can't get him on the show.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it's going to be. Because there's no way he's coming on this broadcast. There's no way he's going to. He's trying to do the Kamala Harris and just stay away from the press and not sit down. In fact, did you see this? This was stunning. The Bakersfield Californian, a clearly liberal newspaper, is endorsing David Valadao. That goes to show you how incompetent Rudy is. They're all down the line. They've supported Democrats. They've endorsed Dr. Jasmine Baines. They've endorsed Leticia Perez. They've endorsed Adam Schiff for the United States Senate. They are right down the line. I mean, the Californian has always been liberal, but they at least tried to hide it over the last couple of decades that I've lived here, because it was a conservative paper when I worked there in the 90s, and then it shifted right about the mid-90s, late 90s, and beginning of the 21st century to an openly liberal newspaper. Well, now they don't even make bones about it. Their endorsements, because it used to be when they would make Democratic endorsements, it'd be like, what? But now it's right down the line. And the only Democrat that I have found that they are not endorsing is Rudy Salas. And that says a lot. It really does. Because that's a pivotal congressional seat that Republicans desperately need to maintain the House. And for the Californian to endorse Rudy Salas' opponent goes to show you what we've talked about. I think I'm a fair guy. I really do. And if you're a good candidate, okay, we got to beat a good candidate. Rudy's just not a good politician. He's the Kamala Harris of Congress. Maybe he's a smart man. I don't know. I've never called him stupid. I don't know his intelligence, but politically, he's an idiot. He's an absolute idiot. How you go on a radio show and don't have a direct position on voter ID is just mind-numbing. Like, really, you don't have a position? You don't understand that your party is 99.9% in favor of not having an ID? That you're the only Democrat that I've ever run into in my life that doesn't support non-ID so that illegal immigrants or whomever can vote? It is remarkable. It is still, that interview we did with him is still the single most remarkable interview of my career. And so much so, as I've always pointed out, it made the Sun newspaper. It made a statewide newspaper that quoted Rudy, quoted me. He's just politically a moron. And proof is that our local liberal newspaper is supporting his opponent. It is shocking, but not really, actually.
No, not at all.
Not really, but it is what it is.
Yeah, he ran off.
Of course he
And
did.
he knew who I was because as soon as Councilwoman Kaur waved,
Yeah.
I'm sure he was like, well, who's that?
Right.
And
of course he did.
Yeah.
It's Jennifer Rice. He's on the Ralph Bailey show.
Ooh,
Where are my keys?
gotta go.
Yeah, I got to get out of here.
Yeah.
Hey, he might
But
invite me.
Leticia did come over and talk to me. I told her I can get behind Miss Connie. I'll go over there and speak with her. As a matter of fact, I said, but I can't get behind your boy. She was like, my boy. I was like, yeah, your boy, Andre. I can't.
AG.
I can't get behind your boy. She's like, yeah, I know we used to be not cool either, but we've gotten better.
Her and AG?
Yeah.
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 She
goes, I thought you were going to run against him.
You should have. You absolutely should have. Can you imagine what a tight race? Although I like his opponent, although I don't think he just doesn't have the money.
Yeah, no.
But I watched that
Michael
debate.
Cardenas.
Yeah. He's a smart cat.
No, he's a good kid.
Yeah, but I was going to Luigi's coming over the thing, and Andre has a big old billboard.
He's got billboards and he's got the signs everywhere.
Yeah,
and
he's got a ton of money, so it's going to be tough.
But Manpreet asked me the same thing because I told her, I can't get behind your boy over here. And she said, what? I said, have you noticed my tennis courts over there? Would you like to go for a walk with me over to the tennis courts?
Yeah,
because kids are going to break ankles over there. I said, meanwhile, he's spent over, $1 million doing pickleball courts twice.
Right.
And she goes, oh, twice? And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, twice. He's done those twice. She's like, I wasn't there for the first one. I was like, I get it.
Yeah, that was more Tandy.
And she's like,
The second one, that was all him.
Yeah, and she said, well, just hopefully they don't turn into pickleball courts. I said, I'll take either at this point. I just need them paved so kids don't break ankles.
Right.
And I go, but you're about to build your new park. And she said, well, hopefully if the money can stay in Ward 7,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder what her ambition is.
I wanted, and I said, why don't you come on? I think I'm hosting for Scott this coming Thursday and Friday. She said, I need to have a reason to come on. I said, look around our city. I think there's enough reason to come on.
Yeah, no kidding.
She said, maybe after the election. I said, okay. I said, I want to like you, Manpreet. And she goes,
I know. She's an interesting
I go, I
woman.
really do. I want to like you. And she goes, I know. I like you, JR. I was like, okay. All right.
Well, stop trying to flirt.
I'm not trying to flirt. I'm just trying to let her know. Like, I need to know it's like Kamala. I need to know what you're about.
Yeah.
Like, I can't make a decision whether or not I like you if I don't know what you stand for. And I haven't heard what she stands for. What is her idea for the future of Bakersfield?
Yeah, that's what I've always wondered. And what direction does she want to be? A career politician? Is this just a stepping stone, or is she serious? She's a beautiful woman. I know that. I just threw that out there. That's a Nate Jackson line.